love this. I mean, it's doctors don't use the most basics observation, but they don't even know
They don't know.
what a ridge in the nail means or discoloration here. I mean, the tongue has three different cranial nerves that innervate it. It is directly connected to the central nervous system and how you adapt, but doctors generally don't know that. When I'm looking at my patients, I'll see yellowness of the eyes, we'll see ridges in the nails, lines in the nails, and I know this is all has to do with the body's absorption or everything else, but you can equate that to the health of various organs. How does that work?
Well, I mean, every organ throws off signs. You know, we've seen some things rotate through social media, whatever. If you play a certain megahertz sound, let's say, it can heal a certain organ. We've all heard that. You know, if they haven't, they're hearing it now here for the first time. They just have to know the frequency of that organ. Well, organs also throw off signs. It's the brain saying, hey, pay attention.
I'm super excited. Our special guest is Dr. Randi Shannon, naturopathic doctor, entrepreneur, and author of the Amazon book Tongue Tales. Okay, and you'll see why it's that title. The founder of the Body Can, which I love that title, ensuring all can have access to holistic healthcare and specializing in face, tongue, fingernail analysis with over 20 years experience. Doc, this is super exciting because we look at, all of the things you're looking at, but I want to get your perspective. For those who don't know you, can you share your personal, how you got this, how you created the Body Can?
Yes, absolutely. And so great to be here, Dr. Bergman. You're like one of my favorite people and watch your show for years. So just what an honor to be on your platform here with you. So I highly respect what you do. I love how you take the whole body in to consideration and don't cut corners. So that part is so amazing. As far as me and my background and how I got started, I actually had my first interaction with a tongue analysis when I was just a child. I was somewhere around 7, 8, 9 years of age, and I was getting urinary tract infections over and over and over. And I'm sure somewhere in there I went on an antibiotic. And finally, my mom took me to a doctor who actually had knowledge of the body. And when he put the little tongue depressor down, most all of the doctors were looking at the tonsils to look to try to take them out because it's epidemic levels, one of those things that they love to remove from kids. And when he did it, he put it on the very tip of my tongue, not all the way to the back. And that was the first time ever in my little short life that a doctor did that. And he was actually looking at my tongue, and the tongue tells a story. And so he looked at that, he knew instantaneously, and he turns to my mom and he says, is she eating a lot of sugars? Well, of course, because you're a little kid, if you've got 4 cents in your pocket, you go to the little stores back then. 4 cents went a long way with candy. And we had soda machines, we had Kool-Aid, we had Tang, remember Tang?
Mhm.
Just all of these things, probably terrible for my diet. My grandparents had a sugar candy bowl, and it was a treat to go to their house and always dip our hand in the candy jar if we were good.
Yeah, but
Um,
the astronauts drank Tang.
well, did they
That was
actually
a
go
sales
to
feature.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that told the story, and he told my mom in that moment, stop all the sugars and this will stop. And it did. I never got another one. And the thing is today at 57 years of age, I have zero desire to eat sugars. So that established a pattern for the rest of my life. I did go through little pockets, but then I got sick of it again. And literally, it's like sludge to somebody who stops eating it.
Now, your specialty is in utilizing ancient wisdom with the face, tongue, fingernail analysis, and this really can provide accurate insights into the body systems. How do you utilize that?
Well, I mean, if this could have been debunked, they would have done this forever ago. So nobody can ever come after me and say that's not real. They would literally have to shut down all the Eastern medicine regions of the world, and they're not going to go do that. So this has been around over 5,000 years where they actually looked at the body. Imagine that a doctor looks at the body, and the thing is the face, the fingernails, and the tongue all tell a story. Just like if we cut a tree in half and you see the rings of the tree, and it tells if that tree was exposed to fire or pestilence or flood. We are the same exact way. And the fingernails will tell me if there's high probability of cancer and internal bleeding and liver and kidney issues. If somebody's super wiry, if they are having anxiety type of issues, that can all be seen in the fingernails. The tongue tells me all kinds of organs. It tells me the condition of the blood. If it's super thick, which today most everybody does have super thick blood running through their body. But our ancestors, what's your lineage, Dr. Bergman?
Northern European.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Swedish, Norwegian. I have a little Bohemia in me. Nobody ever talks about Bohemia, but I have a little bit of that. And so, they fought by the sword a lot. And if they got whacked by the sword, they bled out super fast. I don't think we would bleed out super fast, if they nicked us in the arm or something, unless they hit that right spot, because our blood is much thicker. So, before somebody goes into surgery, the doctors always say, are you on any kind of nutrients? And they want them to stop that. And nobody talks about why. But the reason is that they don't want that blood to be super thin because they'll have a bleed on the table. So what I do is I actually get people back to that because that was what was normal. And I can do that through various protocols, but I can see that they need it just by looking at the tongue. And the face tells a whole nother story. So when people are getting Botox, for example, they're covering up the scene of the crime. They're covering up the evidence of what's really going on.
That's true. When you're seeing wrinkles, you're looking at a tissue production problem.
Correct.
And I mean, when I'm looking at my patients, I'll see yellowness of the eyes. We'll see ridges in the nails, lines in the nails, and I know this is all has to do with the body's absorption or everything else. But you can equate that to the health of various organs. How does that work?
Well, I mean, every organ throws off signs. We've seen some things rotate through social media, whatever. If you play a certain megahertz sound, let's say, it can heal a certain organ. We've all heard that. If they haven't, they're hearing it now here for the first time. They just have to know the frequency of that organ. Well, organs also throw off signs. It's the brain saying, hey, pay attention. And most people will walk through life and not pay attention to that sign, whether it's a discoloration, like you mentioned, or it might be there's a social media person right now, an influencer who puts out really great material. And I saw him live the other night, and he had popping capillaries in his eye, like all in the white. And I messaged him and I said, hey, I'd be happy to help you with that. And he said, oh, maybe I'll reach out to you sometime. They have no idea what's really going on. He's having little mini aneurysms and he doesn't even know it.
Mm.
They don't just pop for no reason. So a condition of the blood. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a craziness that people. I mean, I had a hemorrhage in my eye by getting hit by a stick, but they shouldn't happen just by, I see patients wake up and you've got all of this, and it literally is the health of the tissue.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think it takes to deprogram a person from, but because there's so many people that say, well, it runs in my family, it's genetic, it's this, and they'll literally put your hand up if you're going to tell them, look, there's a cure for your disease, that your disease disease is correct. How do you deprogram a person that thinks their ailment is incurable?
Some people are not deprogrammable. I will say that.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, they are absolutely set in their ways, and there is nothing that you can do to change them away from the white coat syndrome. Okay. So, and listen, I love the white coats in most every emergency situation. And some of them are some of my best friends in life, ER trauma doctors. But when it gets to treating the chronics, that's not the person you want to go to. You want to go to someone like me, a naturopathic doctor who hears literally I can hear what they're saying. And I pretty much know that answer. I just want to double verify or triple verify with face, fingernails, and tongue. But as far as deprogramming, I can tell stories like I have some testimonials that we have put together. An 89-year-old woman with stage 4 kidney disease who was on 10 prescriptions, and less than a year later, she's off every single prescription and the kidneys are working amazing. And her doctor doesn't necessarily want to know exactly what she's doing, but he says, whatever that doctor is doing, keep doing it. Or a stage 4 pancreatic cancer client. We've had several of them that come to us in the most dire straits, have even had the chemotherapy already. In fact, cancer patients are probably one of my biggest clients that I take on at this point. And we have amazing results with them. Just got a testimonial today or yesterday of somebody who came to me with stage 4, and they are 2.5 years later alive still. And the doctor's like, I don't even see any signs of it anymore. So that's how you deprogram them. Give them real stories is the main way.
I would love to be able to deprogram the medical system. I
Yes.
mean, because I know you're obsessed with research. I'm obsessed with research because
Yes.
anytime you get a chance to learn something new, but isn't it mind blowing
Yeah.
that like the term you use, the white coats, if
Yeah.
they see a cure in what they think in what they're treating, but they're failing at it, but they don't say, God, whatever you did, teach me so I can do it to my patients.
It's so rare. It's so rare for them to actually ask. Yeah.
100%. Now you developed the food Bible, and I love that term. What are your top recommendations for optimal health so a person can adapt to this world?
Well, I mean, because some people have, blood sugar issues or blood, pressure issues, things like that. I'm very careful with my food Bible and my list. So I have a good side and a bad side. So if you're a diabetic on the good side, you do have to know your limitations. So if I say you can eat, fruit in the good side, all the fruits you want, just everything has to be organic, a diabetic has to proceed with caution. But on the bad side, there is absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about the bad side. No wheat, barley, rye, oatmeal, or buckwheat. No fried foods. No foods cooked in any oils. People will argue with me till they're blue in the face. I went on Sean Hannity radio, and their Twitter feed, at the time it was Twitter, blew up because people were arguing, saying that's wrong, that's not true, but it is true, and I will stand by it because I can prove it without a shadow of a doubt 100% of the time by looking at the tongue. Now, if you're eating oils and you extracted it yourself, Dr. Bergman, if you cut off the head of the coconut and you make your oil from that, great. Eat that, but do it in the next 30 to 60 minutes. Incredibly nutritious. But the old stuff in a bottle is all rotten and rancid. And I don't care if it's super, super extra virgin, anything. Doesn't matter. If it's oil in a bottle, it's been oxidized, and people have to understand that, a good visual is an apple or a banana. You take a bite out of that apple and you set it on the counter. Once you've compromised that skin, the oxygen can rush in and it starts to oxidize. It is no different if it's a coconut, an olive, an almond, it doesn't matter. The air rushes in, it starts that oxidation process, water to metal, rust, same thing. So what does that apple look like in 3 weeks or 3 months?
It's destroyed.
Com-
Do animal fats incidify slower?
Love them.
Yeah,
Love
because
animals.
I
Yeah.
mean, hun, my Northern European cousin, okay. Yeah, yeah. All my relatives from Sweden, I mean, they live through the wintertime on animal fats. I
It's
mean,
amazingly healthy. Yeah. It's amazing. If you look at the Eskimos, they don't eat our oils. They don't have our heart disease.
100%. I
Yeah.
know I've got olive trees and I got jars and jars of those olives that are brining in the closet right now.
Amazing.
And
Yeah,
that ain't recidifying. But when we
exactly.
make the oil, you got to take it quick. But oh my
You have to be
God.
quick.
Yeah.
It does not have a shelf life. And every minute it's exposed to oxygen is another minute it's oxidizing. And so what that does to us is it clogs up our blood. It causes free radical damage. And I'm going to blow everybody's mind right now with what I'm going to say is I firmly believe when you see somebody that has incredible cellulite on their skin, it's the oils that are doing it because it's trying to go through and it's just clogging everything up. And so you get that lumpy skin. Look at somebody who doesn't eat oils. Their skin is perfect. Absolutely beautiful and perfect. Yeah.
Amen. Okay, in your 20 plus years of practice, okay, why do you think it is that the average person waits to prioritize their own health, to schedule stuff for themselves? Instead, they wait for, an illness or disease to do it to present instead of preventative lifestyles. I mean, working out's a heck of a lot better than sitting around developing heart disease.
Yeah. Well, number one, I think is money. Number two is we think we're invincible. And that it's only going to happen to that person. It's not going to happen to me, kind of thing. And so, and they also are completely um, uneducated or ignorant, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Ignorant is not a derogatory term. It's just the lack of knowing that they think they're going to get it all from the food. And the thing is when we hear that, oh, the soil's depleted, nobody really gets that. But the soil is depleted. And if you look at what's going on in history right now, America is fighting for the rare earth minerals in Ukraine, right? They signed a deal to get those rare earth minerals because we have depleted that in a lot of the world where we do heavy factory farming. They farm it and farm it and farm it and farm it. What can be in there still? Nothing.
Yeah, it's true. They always say, but I mean that's why the life of the soil, and we're doing so many things with the chemical fertilizers and the herbicides that are destroying the nutrient value of the soil.
Yeah.
There's a couple of great movies coming out about the health of the soil. Like the Common
Oh,
Ground, I think, is coming out, which
okay.
is that's going to be an amazing movie. I think it's coming out in a couple of days. Now that a lot of people are well, rightly so, disillusioned by mainstream medicine. Okay, particularly over the last 4 years of insanity, and luckily we've got a new administration that hopefully Mr. Kennedy is going to start to change some of the craziness. But however, a lot of people are skeptical, even though they're disillusioned by symptom drug therapy of the mainstream. They're skeptical about holistic and nutritious and naturopathic stuff.
Which
Um,
blows my mind.
it blows my mind too. I mean, you've got 150 years of drugging people, and that's a massive failure. And you've got thousands of years of provable results with Chinese medicine, ancient naturopathic, chiropractic. Um, can you share some words of wisdom to turn this psychosis around?
Well, it's going to get turned around if RFK actually does do what he said he was going to do. But if he does what he said he was going to do about the foods and the the jabs and things like that, then that can all be good. And they've partnered up with some really good agriculture people that care about the earth, which is amazing. Um, how to make it better. It shows like and more widespread is shows like yours, me going on as a guest, you being on everybody's show, you continuing to put out your amazing content. And I can't really say what, I can't preempt it, but I'll be coming out on a program this late summer, early fall. And I'll be taking it to more of the world, which is amazing because this message needs to get out. People in my field, I would say the closest who gets to what my knowledge is the Asian people, the Eastern medicine type people. But if you take, for example, an acupuncturist, they will look at your tongue, but they'll only tell you, well, it's hot or you have heat over here. And that really doesn't mean anything to people. And most of them just give Chinese herbals. And I've never seen only solely Chinese herbals ever heal anybody of anything. That probably blows a lot of people's minds. The body needs more balance, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, EFAs. And that is critical for, even if you were a couch potato, Dr. Bergman, if you are active and you're going and working out, you're going to sweat all of that out if you put it in about 45 minutes. You got to do it again. So
It's so true. I mean, there's a constant breakup and build down of the tissue. You
yeah.
know, that I have a big problem with a lot of the doctors because I'm training docs all the time,
Mhm.
and they'll ask, "Why don't I diagnose?" And I say, "Okay, you got 10 people with fibromyalgia. Do they all have the same physical history, activity history, medication
Absolutely
use,
not.
surgery? No, not even close."
Yeah.
That's why in ancient thing you treat each person as an individual.
Yeah. So if
Uh,
I had, for example, two fibromyalgia people and I do a face, tongue, fingernail analysis on each of them, I'm going to see a total different story on why they got to that point. So,
Isn't that cool? So you're
yeah,
not treating the symptom.
no,
You're treating the body, trying to adapt to a deficient, toxic, stressed environment, and
mhm,
you're giving different recommendations for the same diagnosis.
exactly. And you and I are the same in that you put your hands on every client.
I
And
I
and
mean
I talk to them all individually as well. Go ahead.
well, I mean I would love to not have to do individual nerve scans, in individual blood analysis, individual X-rays. I'd like to just treat everyone the same, except
Happy
it
and
doesn't
healthy.
work that way.
Yeah. Nope. It's not that way. We can't write a one book that's going to be perfect for every single person. It will always vary. Yeah.
Eventually, okay,
Mhm.
healthcare will be taking care of each individual health and not categorizing it into groups. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh
Imagine.
God.
Medical system today, if you walk in with that fibromyalgia or that diabetes or whatever, they're going to go to their computer and tell you what the that one size fits all protocol is. And I don't agree with that.
I've never seen one adjustment work for everyone. Or the one supplement that everyone's missing. There's no such thing as that.
No, no, not at all.
Okay.
So
Okay. Your information's got to get out there. You got a new masterclass coming up. When is that? Is it May 3rd?
it's coming up May 3rd, it starts, and I have recorded my entire database of knowledge that's in here, and it's going live. So it's going to be at people's own paces. So they all get, however, with that class, an individual full face, tongue, and fingernail analysis with me at some point during the course. But they go at their own pace when they're taking the course. So it's pretty amazing. And I work with them a full 6 months when they take the course and they get the analysis. So every 30 days, I will talk to every single client and re-look at their pictures. It's a pretty amazing program.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. That
Yeah,
that weekend I'm speaking at a university in Georgia. Otherwise, I would be there for sure.
that's amazing.
This is going to be fantastic. I mean,
Yeah,
I know there's going to be links and stuff below.
You're welcome.
that people can follow you. But this is vital. You're treating each person individually, seeing how their body can adapt to the environment. And how can my audience follow you and get more information?
So easy to track me down. I'm like a creature of habit. The body can, as in the body can heal itself, thebodycan.com. And then they can go to any of the individual links / schedule. But it's the body can. I'm on, guess what? Instagram and X as the body can. So it'd be x.com / the body can. Same for YouTube, the body can. Super easy. And my phone number is 844-275-1056 for anyone who wants to get scheduled. 844-275-1056.
Incredible. I mean, the fact that you're offering, an analysis right on there, and I love this. I mean, it's doctors don't use the most basics observation, but they don't even know
They don't
what
know.
what a ridge in the nail means, or discoloration here. I mean, the tongue has three different cranial nerves that innervate it. It is directly connected to the central nervous system and how you adapt, but doctors generally don't know that. Hey, can you tell us more about your Tongue Tales book?
Yes. People don't understand. This is what I have found in life is people don't understand the power in the tongue. And I've raised 4 sons. I have my first grandson. I've got 2 more on the way. And I felt like it was important and that it could be fun and entertaining to start at the education process as little kids. And so it's really good for newborns, just because newborns can be read to, all the way up to about 10. And it focuses in on kids looking at the tongues of animals all the way through. And at the end of the book, it tells them to go look in the mirror at their own tongue, trying to bring awareness that there is things going on in the tongue. So it did become an Amazon bestseller. And I'm very proud of that. And it's just a fun little whimsical kind of children's book. It's great for baby showers. It's a great gift. I would love for bookstores and teachers to pick it up. And I know they have. I've gotten lots of pictures back of people that have bought my book and have read it. So it's pretty amazing and fun.
Oh, hell yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you're teaching young kids about the health of themselves, health of the world, and then I love the concept.
There's so much, AFib, for example, is typically degenerative disc disease. It's not really anything to do with the heart. It's just the heart is getting a signal, like a red light warning signal of racing. So then the doctors will kill that muscle. And now you've lost your red light warning signal. So really, they should have been seeing a chiropractor and seeing me, a naturopathic doctor, and getting on some bone and joint ligament tendon things.
100%, dear. That's why every time we got AFib, cardiac arrhythmias, they'll give a beta blocker. And if people kind of think, well, what's it blocking? It's literally blocking the sympathetic supply to the heart, which comes out of the top of the thoracic area.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I've got a couple of cardiologists as patients, and I say, you guys are taught that the nerves control the organs. And they say, oh, yeah, we're taught that. And well, how about looking at the nerves that supply it? And maybe those could be compromised. Well, no, we give a drug to limit that
Drugs,
effect on the
drugs,
body.
drugs. Yeah. I can tell you from my experience and my opinion that there isn't a prescription drug other than an occasional antibiotic that's actually going to fix your issue. It's just not going to do it. You have to go the nutritional route. Go see, my favorite doctors are chiropractors. So you're right there. I've always recommended chiropractors, and I like acupuncturists too, because in an emergency type of a situation, they're very good. So they can help with pain like in a second. So I really like those two.
Absolutely. Doc, this has been fantastic. And I mean, just you're making a difference in the world, and you're on the path that's regenerative, that the people are natural because you're restoring health naturally. Thank you so much, because getting this information out there is vital. This was fast. And please, if you got an opportunity, Go in next week, or May 3rd, attend this class. If not, look at your information. I mean, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Instagram, everything.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bergman. You're always amazing. Thank you for
God
having
bless you,
me.
dear. You rock.
You rock too. Thank you.